Welcome to the About Healing podcast, a place of love and understanding for all. A reminder that we are in this life together and never alone in our struggles. I'm your co-host, Sheree Buckman, medium and spiritual healer.
And I'm your other co-host, Katie Sass, intuitive energy healer. For more information on us, check out our personal websites listed in our About Healing podcast description.
Let's get our healing on.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 6, part 2, where we continue answering questions.
Here we go. Yeah. It's so fun. How are you today, Katie?
I'm actually doing pretty well. I'm doing well. I have been doing a lot of work on myself this week, having some energy work sessions on me and then going within myself, meditating and going through a lot and shifting. And today I'm at a good place, feeling good. I'm excited. How about you? How have you been doing?
Same. A lot of growing, a lot of healing. And you know what? I'm in a really good place right now. It feels good. So I'm excited to do this and keep up on our fun Q&A, Ms. Copper. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Are you ready for part 2 of the Q&A?
I am. I've learned so much in the last episode, so I can't wait to hear what we have to talk about this time. Let's get started then. To switch gears just a little bit, Sheree, we've talked about chakras on the side, and I know that this is an area that you could go on forever, but can you give a brief description? Ma'am, I'm timing you.
Okay, I'm going to do my best to keep it brief. Well, because there is a lot to know about chakras, and we will expand on this later, but I am going to give the basics to those who don't understand it. Know that you can do so much research even into one chakra, and there's so much behind it. First of all, chakras are actually spinning energy wheels within our physical bodies. A chakra itself literally means, is it spinning wheel in Sanskrit? So, and that's what it is. These are energy centers of ours. In total, there are actually 114 chakras within our entire bodies, our entire beings. Let's put it that way. But there are 7 majors, and these are the ones that everybody, what we reference to are the 7 majors. So I'm just going to briefly talk about each one, at least where they're at and what they represent. As a whole, the chakras are where our emotions take place, and each one has its own emotion it represents, or what it does with an emotion and how it processes it. This is also part of that healing process of where we go in and we're trying to understand the emotions that have clogged that chakra. The first chakra is the root chakra. This is located at the base of your spine. Its color is red, okay? And so this is where I have to hold all my stuff back. So the root chakra is the basis of our grounding. This is survival, our energy, our self-expression, and ambition. And I want to briefly just put it in there. When the chakra is in balance, so we don't have any clogs and it's in perfect balance, this person would have a big connection in nature. They are focused, present. They are able to care for themselves and have a sense of belonging. And if this chakra is not in balance, this person could have like severe financial issues, wanting more material things, holding a lot of fears, scattered anxieties, and they're very controlling. Okay, going on. Second chakra. Going into the second chakra. The second chakra is your sacral chakra. This is located right below your belly button. The color of this chakra is orange. And this is where our sexual energy is located. This is where pure emotion is also generated here. This is a chakra of creativity and our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. When this chakra is in balance, this person is a nice person. They're known as friendly, kind. They can share their emotions and feelings easily, and they can happily connect to life. When this is out of balance, they're not sure of oneself. They're more unstable, in their emotions. They can't share them easily, and sexual suppression. How am I doing? Are you keeping up with me?
Yeah. Sounds great.
The third chakra is called the solar plexus. This is located underneath the chest, kind of in our belly, above the belly button. And this is yellow. Our solar plexus is like our power center. This is that psychic center. This is where that's where the term getting those gut feelings comes from. This is that place of knowing. It is also where it takes the raw emotion from the second chakra and expands it further. Okay, so it's bringing it up, it's expanding it further. And this is where self-worth, our sense of power, and confidence and self-esteem come from. So a person who has a balanced chakra in here, they have a feeling of wholeness, a tolerance and acceptance of others in their lives and in their relationships. They have an understanding of their own power and are able to take personal responsibility for their own stuff. When this chakra is not in balance, this person will have trust issues or a need to dominate others, and they like to take power over. So they have like an overinflated ego and low self-esteem. Moving into the fourth chakra, this would be our heart space. This is the heart chakra, and this is green. And of course, what it represents is love. But this is the love we give out, and this is also the love that we receive. It is the ability to love unconditionally and having a sense of joy and inner peace. And of course, emotions. This is where we start to feel those emotions. This is right here in that heart space. When a person, when this is in balance, this person is confident. They have a sense of togetherness, giving, and abundance. When it is out of balance, this person is probably not feeling loved, not feeling accepted, maybe suffering from love, issues with dependency on others, and having harsh judgments for themselves and others. The fifth chakra is located right here in the throat, and that's exactly what it's called. It's the throat chakra. This is the color of blue, and this is, of course, the chakra of our expression. This is, of course, our voice expression, of creativity, of communication, and also the chakra of truth, of living and understanding and expressing our truths. When this is in balance, we're able to express ourselves and can understand others. We can speak our truth and our knowledge, and we're also able to listen to the inner voice and trust our intuition. When it is out of balance, this is where we hold those fearful feelings of being judged. We're not able to express ourselves, not being heard, and even arrogance is held there. And then we go into the sixth chakra, and this is our third eye chakra, which is located in between our eyebrows, right there in the center of our forehead. And right here, this chakra is our ability to focus and see the bigger picture. It is about possibilities, intuition, imagination, and wisdom. And when this Oh, and by the way, the color of the chakra is indigo. So it's kind of like that deep blue purple. When the chakra is in balance, a person has an awareness of their spiritual self, their intuition. They also have an inner awareness to everyday life. They connect to the universe, and they can kind of see a bigger picture. When this is out of balance, they can only see the obvious, the surface meaning of things. So they might be more a scientific-based mentality. They may also have difficulty concentrating and maybe a lack of direction. And then last but not least, at least for this topic anyway, for this basic of topic, is the crown chakra. The crown chakra is located at the top of our head, and it is beautiful. It is a violet color, and this is our connection to the universe. This is our totality as a person, our knowledge beyond words. This is our intellect. This is the place of inner and outer beauty and pure bliss. And so when the chakra is in balance, we have a sense of knowledge, of oneness and unity. The self reflects the divine. It's an understanding that the soul is having a human experience without ego. They're not in an ego-based place. They also have a rejection of all negative thoughts that brings unhappiness and stress. Now, when this chakra is out of balance, this person will be most likely suffering from a lot of anxieties. They can't let go of things. They're, again, held in a lot of fear, usually fear of the belief concepts. Beliefs of further, what happens next. Feeling depressed, not satisfied, dogma and belief systems. There you go. Believe it or not, that is my shortened basic version of chakras.
I really, really think that we need to talk about this more.
Agreed.
Oh, no. And I do this. Oh, yeah. We can break down each chakra and do a whole episode because as I talked about in that, they're balanced and unbalanced. We can talk about what that is and how to work with it. But at least for now, you have that very basic understanding. For those who didn't know about them, you can do all the research and expand further. Okay, I'm done talking for now.
All right. So the name of the show is About Healing Podcast. What are we healing and who is it necessary for?
So about healing, it's part of our ascension process that we talked about earlier. Healing is about coming back to our power, taking responsibility for ourselves, releasing the old stories, kind of what I had mentioned before, getting back to your true essence of of who you are so that you're vibrating at that higher level, so that you're not carrying around these untrue stories into your life and having them come out into other places and then having that affect others. So that's what healing is about to me. It's about getting yourself to a healthy state. When you talk about needing physical healing, all the physical healing starts with the emotional healing. So just a little example, say someone is having some lower back issues. Some of the emotional stuff that is tied to that is around money, fear of not having enough money. Other places in the body, knees, is about feeling afraid to step forward, having fears around that. So, of course, we all want to be feeling good in the physical, but it starts with the emotional, it starts with the mental. And that's what it's about, because we all want to feel our best.
Yeah.
And if we're feeling our best, then that's what we're radiating out there. And that's we're spreading along, the energy that we're spreading to others, making a better place for all of us.
The more of us that are in that higher place, the better place it'll be here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, because we are expanding and opening ourselves to others, and that's part of that healing process too. And what we've talked about it's like even our beginning slogan as we open up, that you're not in this process alone, that we're all going through this life. We are so connected. And again, it's part of that human experience that we have categorized or put us or just our families or those that we know into one little pod or category, when we're all here to help each other and to live through all this together. And I believe that's why when you hear stories of people talking about their traumas or healing themselves and bringing themselves out and taking their power back, we can all feel it. It is inspiring because we are connecting with that, because we understand it on levels that we don't fully understand. We just know and feel it. And so that is all a part of this. And Katie, that was great. And exactly what you said. We're in there to heal ourselves, is going back into the emotions, finding where it came from, whether it was a lot of it, I hate to say, is a lot comes from childhood and things that we were taught back when we weren't able to create our own opinions. We were told a lot. We're all trying to help and bring people into their own knowledge, their own truths. And that is what our healing for us, and what that means.
Yeah, and you're right, a lot does come from childhood, but that's what our parents learned. That's what their parents learned. That's what society had taught them. Just, getting ourselves back to the truth of who we are. And too, I know, Sheree, that's the reason that we started this podcast too, is to help others along their journey and let people know that, hey, we're going through our own lessons, and that this is part of the support. We're here to support you in our ways, and we get support from others. It's just we're all connected and we're all in it together.
Yeah. And this is just another modality to healing. This is not the one all be all. This is just another understanding, getting into it. And one last thing in regards to the healing, we are all in this space, but it's also to understand that not everyone in the world needs healing. There are some that have done the process on their own, some that they may be in this lifetime and healing is not a part of their plan. They've done a lot of work. Ready? Another mind-blowing topic. Here's another piece. Through other lifetimes. And that's another thing, you may be processing things that you don't understand right now because you brought it with you from past traumas and other lifetimes. Have I lost you yet, Copper?
That's deep. That's deep.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, I do want to get more into that in another time, because there's a lot to explain when it comes to a lot of that. But that is part of it too. And yes, not everybody is in a place that is needing the deep healing. I do know a lot of people. I have met people who have done so much on their own, and it's amazing. But again, this podcast, and at least my purpose, is to help those who are needing it, the ones who seek it out, who feel that need or that level of healing.
Sheree, what lessons do you refer to when you're talking about your process?
Okay, I am going to do my best to keep this short and simple because I always have this like a huge spiel to talk about to bring the understanding here. So actually, this is perfect timing since I just brought up the whole past life thing. Okay, here is my quick, hopefully understandable version of lessons. In my understanding and my knowledge at this point, what I have received from spirit and working with clients and what I've gone through and my beliefs right now is we enter this lifetime with certain lessons we're trying to achieve. or trying to understand or trying to grow through during this lifetime. I have seen and feel it and know it for myself anyway, that we come into this life pre-planning certain types of lessons that we want to go through, whether it be to love ourselves more, to remove judgments, reclaiming our power back. That's a big one I see a lot. Those that are removing the judgments and the tethers of either family or society from being themselves, that true person they feel deep down, even though it's different than everybody else. That lesson in there is to be able to have the strength and to stand up against it and removing those tethers. So these lessons are different for everybody. Everyone is going through different lessons. And there are different times in our lives when we would experience certain things for different lessons. I believe that we have major lessons, and these are what I call our karmic lessons, ones that we go through many lifetimes of trying to understand and grow and break through. And then we have a lot of smaller ones that we're experiencing within a lifetime. I don't want to keep going too far. Katie, do you have anything else to add or explain further?
Oh, I like what you had to say. I was just going to add that we're not alone and that we have our guides here to help us. We have angels, ascended masters, that we don't have to do it alone, and just remember to ask for help when we get stuck, or show me where to go next. That we're not in it alone. I know we say it all the time, but it's true. We're not.
So to step back from some of the terminology that we've covered to a different place, you refer to yourselves as mediums and healers. Explain your process.
Well, for me, I don't refer to myself as a medium too much. What I refer to myself as I do intuitive healing work. I don't use the term medium just because I don't feel like that is my super strength at this moment as far as connecting with loved ones that have crossed over. Sometimes they do pop in and out of sessions when it's necessary. I know, Sheree, that's one of your strong points, which is awesome. But for me, how I work is, of course, I'm saying prayers, I'm setting intentions before the session. I'm drawing out my Reiki symbols because that's one of the tools that I use to move and shift energy. But I open up and I just allow spirit of highest vibration, source, to work through me and bring forth the information that is for my client's highest good. Spirit is kind of rotate around the word spirit, source, but source is letting me know what is holding that person in a dense energy and a lower vibration. And we go more into detail about what is at the root of it. And the client doesn't even have to tell me. Spirit is telling me. Like example, when they were 7 years old, something really traumatic happened to them. Or maybe it wasn't even something really traumatic. Maybe it's just something that someone often told you because it was their issue and they were taking it out on you. And then you held on to that belief and carried it with you. And it's coming up at this moment to be released and healed. So that's my process. Just opening up to source and allowing that information to come through. I do my best to get myself out of the way and bring forth that information for that person's highest good.
I love that, Katie. And hey, and you mean also when you said to get yourself out of the way, you're referring to your
human self, getting my human self out of the way and getting my ego out of the way. Yeah, right? So it's source. What does source have to say? And then also I get guided too to use different tools to help clear the energy and to move the energy and release attachments. And sometimes the sessions get really out there and past life and it goes all over the place. It's fun, never boring. And it's never the same for anyone. It's always unique to who you are because we're all unique beings. What about you, Sheree? What's your process?
Yeah, I do use the word medium because I am connecting with loved ones on the other side. So that does come through. But during my process, I am always opening up. I spend time heightening my vibration, really getting into a very good, peaceful, loving state. I am always setting intentions of bringing in loving, healing messages. What my client needs in the time. Sorry, everybody. It's not what you want. It is what you need. And it is what the universe knows that you need. I go in blind with all of my clients. When I say blind, I know nothing about background or their history. I'm also a healer in that because all I'm trying to do is let me play loosely with that word healer as I explain the whole process, because the purpose of what I'm doing as I'm bringing forward loving spirit, because I'm not just connecting with loved ones that have passed that my client knows, but I'm also connecting with guides. I am connecting with your own personal energy. So I'll connect with the energy of my client. And I do that before, and I'm just getting hit with information that just flows off of them. That's why I'm able to bring out the issues that they're going through without them telling me. The first episode where we talked about what we do, with me, it's like backwards therapy. You don't have to say anything. I'm doing all the talking because you're giving it to me out of your own energy. And then loving spirit, whether it be your family members, which usually always someone will come through and bring a message through. I get often never who they expect, but it's always wonderful and exciting in that. And by the way, nothing scary happens. I like, this is always out of love, and it's the highest of vibrations that come through. I have seen past lives. I'll bring through past lives that connects with what my client is going through right now. This has been happening a lot. I will start seeing in between life planning sessions with your guides. This is utterly amazing. This is something new. I'm so grateful for that. It's so amazing. I'm sorry. I'm still in awe. Like, oh, it's like watching a movie. It's like a movie you can't wait to see, and it's amazing to watch.
I can attest that happened in our session.
Did it? I don't even remember. Oh my gosh.
Of course, right. But yeah, that happened in our session, and you were like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do with this information. Like,
it's so amazing. That's right. Oh my God. Thank you for saying that. And by the way, like, I never remember all details of anybody's session because I'm completely white clean. It's not for me. It's for my client, and nothing makes sense to me. So I just say everything that comes through. But anyway, the purpose of, in that process of my sessions or my mediumship in that healing, is bringing forward the information for anybody, honestly, anybody, bringing it forward to the person have given permission to work on, and giving them tools to do the healing work themselves. I am not that magical being who can wipe everything clean, but I am bringing forward those raw states and those pieces, those parts in that chakra that was locked in there. I'm going to bring that up, and I will give homework guided by loving spirit of how to work through it. And then it is up to the client to work through it in their own time. It's probably a good time to put this out there. Yes, I'm sure you're all kind of wondering, man, she really likes to hear herself talk, and she talks really, really fast. And I thought I would explain this here. I know, Copper, right?
I was going to say, I've known you for 10 years, and yes, that is true.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a natural thing. It does happen a lot where I talk a lot and I talk fast. However, I would like to explain that for this podcast, that when you hear me talking extra fast and pushing things out, and I'm using expressions like this feels big or this feels important, yes, I will be watching those things. I'm working very hard. This is all a learning process for us too. Thank you. But it comes through so forceful sometimes when I'm bringing information through that I am trying to spill it out, because there's so much there. There's so much there that I guess I'm just trying to get it out before I lose it, or it just feels so big. I'm working through it, again, taking my power back and slowing things down.
Because it's always a process for you guys too, right?
Absolutely.
So to kind of wrap things up, there is so much that you guys can talk about on the technical side. How do you find or decide what you're going to talk about on the show?
So far, we get an idea of what we want to talk about, and we just jot down a little outline. But it doesn't always mean that that's what our show is going to be about. Both Sheree and I get into a meditative state too before we come on, and we do our best to let the information flow that's coming up for us. Oftentimes, we use our own lessons and what we're going through for the week, which I'm sure, started to notice that. And I mean, that's what this is about. It's about healing. So we're sharing ourselves, sharing what we're going through, and bringing that information forward. So far, that's how it's been going. This episode's a little different, and it might shift. It might look different too down the road. We don't know. We're just doing our best to stay open, following our guidance as to what information needs to come out for each session.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think the only thing I need to add is that, when we go into it, we are always setting the intention of asking for our own guidance and bringing forward whatever our listeners are needing in that time. So, and that's where we're at. And yes, we've done the episodes where we started planning specifically what we were going to talk about. And that was our scrapped episode because we tried to force it out and oh my gosh.
It was super awkward. I'm not going to lie. I mean,
so awkward.
Thank you for
that
not
thing
lying.
will never, that will never see the light of day.
No.
So,
Well, it's just the example of why it's so important to be in the flow and to not force it.
Mhm. So we've learned just to kind of go with it, open it up, and let's see where it flows.
well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. I think that I have a better understanding. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop asking questions, though.
Never, please never, ever stop. It helps us get out of our own space and knowledge and making sure that we are getting even that basic understanding. And so we appreciate you, Copper, for bringing this up because I feel this to be fantastic. And this was, I don't know about you, Katie, but this was super fun for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Keep the questions. Keep them going.
Honestly, doing this, you just opened us up for so many more future episode topics. And we are going to break some of these down as we get going, as we start feeling it, when the timing is right. So get ready, everybody.
Yeah.
We're going to blow your minds. At least those that don't understand it. Those that are with us or even know way more than us. Hey, we're going to get with it.
All right. So, Copper, thank you so much for asking these questions. It's always good to step out of ourselves and answer the things that we might not realize that people aren't aware of yet because everybody's at their own place. Or maybe we even gave you a little piece of information that you didn't know. I actually, Sheree, you said something I didn't realize today, talking about 114 chakras. I've never heard that number before. So
I'd like to say that I knew it. I looked it up, by the way.
that's how we learn. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
With much gratitude, thank you for tuning in. You can find us at Pandora, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, or any of your favorite places to find podcasts.
Remember to subscribe and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And to share any comments or if you have any questions, please email us at abouthealingpodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another amazing episode. Until then, be kind to yourself.